I'm Matt Williams, Head of Equities at Airlie Funds Management. I've been in the industry for almost 30 years now. So my role is to run the team, manage the investment process and help the team develop good ideas, good stocks that come into the portfolio. Airlie Funds Management was founded by John Sevior and David Cooper. Myself and Emma Fisher, who are now the current Head of Equities and Deputy Head of Equities, we joined in 2016. As a young guy, I really liked business and money, and finding investing was the perfect intersection of those two interests for me. So I was very lucky to get into the industry straight out of university almost 30 years ago. And I felt very privileged and lucky to have had this career that I've had. It's just the best job in the world. You know, from one week I could be having a cup of tea with the chairman of Rio in London, to the next week I'm walking the factory floor with a knockabout entrepreneur like Keys Wheel from PWR Holdings.
I'm Emma Fisher. I am the Deputy Head of Equities at Airlie. I'm a mother of two. I've worked at Airlie since 2016 and I'm the Portfolio Manager of the Airlie Australian Share Fund. When I think about the Airlie approach, it's really about detailed bottom-up research. And when I think about markets, you've really got to have an investing anchor. You've got to have something that you stand for in investing, otherwise you're just going to be buffeted around by the forces and the topics du jour and all of the noise. So for us at Airlie, our anchor is really our investment process. We invest in businesses that have conservative balance sheets, that are run by really sensible people, that have good business models, and then we're looking for situations where the balance of probabilities we feel is tilted in our favour in terms of the valuation. So that's our investing anchor, and that really forms the DNA of the Airlie approach. What I really like about Airlie, I think that we're really open-minded as an organisation. I understand that there's a tendency to want to put investors in the Aussie market into the value camp or the growth camp, and we always really push back on that. And I think that when I think about our investing process, we turn to valuation last because we think that you can only value something if you understand the rest of the business. And I think coming to it last allows us to maintain that open-mindedness that you really need in investing in order to make sure that you're not missing out on opportunities. So I think that DNA of Airlie being very open-minded, doing a lot of bottom-up research and really relying on our investment process to help us sift through opportunities. I think that's a really powerful combination for long-term wealth creation when you're investing in the Aussie share market.
I think it's actually the culture that makes the Airlie team different, because I think there's so many other fund managers out there for people to choose. I think what's really important, and my role in particular, is to foster and develop a great culture amongst the team that allows the best ideas, the best investment ideas, the best companies that we can invest in to come through, with the analysts feeling free and have an autonomy, but within the guardrails of our very strong and long-dated investment process. Well, I give a lot of advice to the team members, and this consists of me basically rambling on with long war stories of my time in the market, which I'm sure they absolutely love. But the best advice I can give them is to be themselves and just remember to have that common sense approach, because I think there's a million ways to make investing complicated, and there's a million people out there trying to help you make it complicated. You've got to cut through all that noise and just have a very much a common sense approach, but with a long-dated mindset. My one rule for investing, and it's an unpopular word these days I think, but the word is discipline. I think you can easily get sidetracked or waylaid into fads, into the latest hot ideas. You have to remain disciplined to the process, and I think that's one thing that I foster here at Airlie within that culture, is that we have to make sure that we stay true to the process and be disciplined about the way we invest.